Sounds great.
Good evening, Bahamas. You're tuned into MB12, broadcasting from Cable 12 Studios in Robinson Road. Coming up tonight in news, the Prime Minister responds to the FNM's vote no position. Religious leaders pushing for the end to gender discrimination. Plus, Bahamian international celebrities join forces to promote the Bahamas. We've got those stories and so much more coming up. I'm Paige McCartney, and MB12 starts right now. Welcome once again to MB12. Prime Minister Perry Christie has accused the Free National Movement of shamelessly trying to exploit this month's gambling referendum for political advantage. He was responding to FNM leader Dr. Hubert Minnis, who claimed that the government is pushing for a yes vote and has provided little to no information to the public less than 2 weeks before the poll. Christie insisted that Minnis is horrendously mistaken, adding that his strategy will make him even weaker. Vonnie Toot has the story.
Prime Minister Perry Christie hit out at FNM leader Dr. Hubert Minnis, who on Wednesday encouraged Bahamians to vote no in the January 28th referendum on gambling. The Prime Minister accused the FNM of making this referendum political. The opposition leader insisted that Christie clearly has a horse in the race after he told reporters that his administration would not close illegal web shops ahead of the poll in order to save the jobs of thousands of workers, and that the country would have a dilemma if the electorate votes no. However, the Prime Minister says his comments were taken out of context.
For anyone, including the leader of the opposition, to try to exploit that by saying I'm condoning illegality has to be horrendously mistaken, right? And really reaching jackass proportions. I have to say it that way. We are trying to remove the irregular conduct that is taking place in this country. And if Hubert Ingram was the Prime Minister today, he would be doing exactly what I'm doing, because that is what he forecast in all the documentation that I met in the Ministry of Finance. Minnis has departed from that.
The Prime Minister told reporters last night he simply meant that he cannot stop thousands of young Bahamians from campaigning for Vote Yes because many of them are unemployed. He accused the FNM of shamelessly trying to exploit the referendum for political advantage, asserting that the opposition will soon learn the hard way that its strategy won't work.
The FNM has made their intervention. They're saying to people, vote no. That's fine. That is their prerogative. I simply have to ensure that I put in place the strategy to be able to tell the people of the Bahamas what I think their decision is all about. It's payback for them. They are trying to pay us back for leading the Bahamian people to vote no in the referendum. The only problem this time around, this is a non-binding referendum. Voting no is something that we anticipate. Voting yes is something we anticipate in terms of our preparation, and God bless them. That's not going to make Minnis any stronger. It's going to make him even weaker.
Christie also took exception to the FNM leader's claim that his government has an incestuous relationship with web shop owners, and the referendum is designed to pay back the PLP's alleged financial backers.
I am not going to allow them to misrepresent the position of my government. And if it means my going to every island in the Commonwealth over the next few days, I will do that to ensure that every single Bahamian that I could reach understands what I meant by saying I have no horse in the race.
He added that he has specially selected an international team different from UK consultants to review this country's laws and help government prepare for the outcome of this month's referendum.
I have coming into the Bahamas next week, okay, a team from halfway around the world of people who we have retained to assist us with both the yes and the no vote, because we have to prepare for both eventualities.
And just in case you're wondering, the Prime Minister says he will be voting in the gambling referendum and he knows how he's voting. Reporting for MB12, I'm Vonnie Toot.
While the Minister of Tourism announcing that the ministry will officially launch its aggressive multi-million-dollar international ad campaign next month. Today, members of the media got a sneak peek of the first of many ads that will showcase the Bahamas as a multi-island destination. Nakia DeVoe traveled to Exuma today. She tells us what the public can expect in this report.
The Ministry of Tourism bringing major star power to its international ad campaign. Two world-renowned Bahamians will be the faces and voices who will tell the entire world of the beauty, culture, and people of the Bahama Islands. It's a first in the country's history.
It's been so nice to come full circle back here. I hope to really continue to be a part in promoting the Bahamas and even taking it more globally than we're intending to do.
I'm a little bit overwhelmed by the moment, and I can honestly say it's out of joy, it's out of pride, it's out of respect for the opportunity. Taking it all in.
Model and actress Shakara Ladard and NBA champion and actor Rick Fox were unveiled as the first two Bahamians who will kick off the aggressive campaign. The pair was shooting a world-class commercial in Exuma this week. Today, NB12 hopped on a boat to Children's Bay Key, where we got to see them in action. It is the first time that any Bahamian will be featured in an international tourism ad. Tourism Minister Obi Wilchcombe says the move is long overdue, and what better time to feature Bahamians than the country's 40th year of independence.
It's important to inspire all Bahamians. See, when we say, when we tell people to talk about our country or about delivering service, it's really about who you are. Service is determined by your heart and your soul. It's not servitude. It's causing people to have an appreciation for you, the person. And I think when you see Bahamians in the forefront, leading the charge, not the ministers of tourism, not the politicians, the people. The people, if they're out there, if they're on television, if they're telling the world about their country, more and more Bahamians are going to believe in the mission that we're on.
The sounds of the Bahamas National Youth Choir will be featured in the ad. Bahamian filmmaker Julian Lord is working along with an international production team to capture the Bahamas' unique beauty and showcase it to the world. Director of the ad, Nigel Dick, says he's certain that once people see the ad next month, they will flock to the destinations.
I've done a lot of work, and I've been making films and videos and commercials for 30 years, and I've never been to such a wonderful place. I'm not exaggerating. Every day I keep saying I can't take all this in. The experience is wonderful.
Now, the minister was tight-lipped on exactly when the ad will air, but he said it will make its debut during a major event with a huge audience. The Super Bowl, maybe? Wilchcombe said we'll just have to wait and see. And the campaign is not only aimed at vacationers. He says the ministry is also aggressively targeting investors.
Because we want to show that component as well, that you can come, be a part of the Bahamian people, but you can also come, be an investor, and enjoy our country. And I think over the next couple of days, David Copperfield is going to be shooting Mushaki. He's the owner of Mushaki. He's also part of our campaign because he's an investor in the Bahamas. We're showing the various aspects and components of our wonderful country.
The ad will be shown on channels all over the world during primetime hours and during specialty programming. The ministry is also launching an aggressive print, radio, and digital campaign next month. Tourism is expected to spend well over $15 million on the new campaign. And while Exuma is the venue for the first ad, which is expected to air in early February, the minister said that several other islands and more Bahamians will be featured throughout the campaign. Reporting from Children's Bay, Exuma for NB12, I'm Nakia DeVoe.
And a little later in news, we'll tell you what the Prime Minister has to say about ensuring the tourism industry remains viable. But first, there's more discord brewing at the National Insurance Board. Some employees who work in the prescription drug plan department are disgruntled after 3 people were hired in managerial roles within that section just 2 days ago. 5 employees in the unit called in sick today, while others at NIB were upset that one of the alleged new managers is closely related to Minister of National Insurance, Shane Gibson. The sick-out reportedly left a hole in the operations today, and people had to be relocated to help with the workload. Some staff members are upset because the 3 senior positions were not advertised internally or externally, and according to our source, employees felt they were qualified for those positions. We have been trying to get a response from the minister. However, our messages were not returned up to airtime. In other news, President and founder of Bahamas Faith Ministries, Myles Munroe, touching on the controversial topic of granting citizenship to children of non-Bahamians. He was making a presentation to the Constitutional Reform Commission at the British Colonial Hilton today. And as Royston Jones tells us in this next report, another religious leader also made a controversial suggestion to do away with the upper chamber of Parliament.
Dr. Myles Munroe recommended to the Constitution Commission that all children born in the Bahamas, irrespective of their parents' immigration status, should be offered provisional citizenship similar to permanent residency status and have all rights available to them as a permanent resident up to the age of 18.
Where a child is born in the Bahamas to non-Bahamian parents who reside in the Bahamas, that child is not regarded as a Bahamian citizen. The social impact of this current policy is to deprive a child of any official status or sense of reality of belonging for 18 years of his or her life. Moreover, this category of person must be treated with careful consideration and sensitivity.
Unlike in the United States and elsewhere, all babies born in the Bahamas do not automatically become citizens, but the Bahamas Constitution provides that children born in the Bahamas to non-Bahamians can apply for citizenship on their 18th birthday or within the following 12 months.
The social impact of this current policy is that the child does not belong to anywhere for 18 years of their life, the way the present situation is. In essence, for 18 years, the child is stateless, without legal or official status, and thus, due to the psychological, emotional, physiological, and mental disillusionment impacting on him or her, the sense of disconnect and lack of loyalty and allegiance breeds contempt. This scenario creates the potential for antisocial response to the society as a whole.
Munroe says upon turning 18, the child would be entitled to apply for a Bahamian passport and be registered as a citizen upon successful completion of a citizenship and allegiance test and swearing the oath of allegiance. The provision remains a controversial one. Munroe appeared before the commission during its latest round of consultations, which involved discussion with the leaders of the country's major political parties, civic groups, and other organizations in the country. He also recommended that the Constitution be amended to eliminate discrimination against women, institute a fixed election date, appoint an independent boundaries commission, provide for a nonpartisan commission on citizenship and immigration reform, remove the Privy Council as the final appellate court for final criminal appeals, and gradually move away from the British monarch as the head of state, among other things. Former Bahamas Christian Council President Bishop Simeon Hall and Reverend Dr. Oral Rex Major, senior pastor of Grace Community Church, also gave recommendations. Hall agreed that provisions should be made in the Constitution for an independent boundaries commission and for the removal of the Privy Council. He also expressed that the Senate should be abandoned.
I wish to question again the relevance and purpose of the Senate as a part of our parliamentary system. I believe the Senate should be done away with, as it seems that its purpose is merely to give privilege to political supporters at the expense of the Bahamian people. I favor those who believe we have outlived our Westminster system of government and it is time to consider the Bahamas as a republic.
The commission is expected to present its recommendations on or before March 31st. Reporting for NB12, I'm Royston Jones.
Stick with us. Coming up after the break, the government heeding to the United States' call to crack down on human smuggling. We'll tell you more about those and other stories when we come right back.